Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. We're going to resurface this cast iron pan. This is not a how to do it. This is not a how you should do it, but rather it's a how I do it. So I'll explain why I do what I do, and as I go through this, I've done it to a few others with mixed results. Hopefully this one turns out pretty good today. But you can see I got this yesterday at a garage sale. I paid about $10 for it. I can get it for less. Sometimes they ask more, but this one's $10. It is a Lodge skillet, and so we're gonna resurface it. We're gonna clean everything, and then we're gonna clean all the kind of burnt food and the grit and grime and stuff like that that's in here. We're gonna clean all that up. I don't know if I'm gonna season this today or do that in a separate video, but at least we're gonna get it clean for today. So let's get to it. So because this has some like burnt on food and some old kind of greasy stuff that's on there, I'm going to start with a wire wheel. Not this wire wheel because this one's pretty wore out, but you get the idea. So I'm going to put a wire wheel on an angle grinder and just try to like knock off all the kind of greasy buildup that's on this one. So in some spots it still has like a greasy finish, but all the kind of the burnt crispy stuff is now off of it. So we'll clean that out a little bit, just kind of brush it out, but you can tell it's starting to get a little bit more shiny. It doesn't have as much burnt stuff on it, so we're getting there. Now if you got this really clean, you could hit it with something else to kind of take more of the grease off of it. For me, the goal would be to get it so that it's all back to bare metal, because what will happen is when you go to season it, you want the seasoning part of it to be even. So if you leave anything on it that is still kind of like a gooey or greasy spot, then when you go to season it, that'll be uneven. So you have to get it super clean. Now mine's not super clean. This is not how I would season it at this point. But the reason for that is because of the next step I'm going to tell you about. So I don't know if this is everybody, but I like my cast iron to be smooth. When they come, nowadays they're kind of rough. They have a rough finish on the inside. But I like to cook on the surface when it's clean. So the next step I'm going to use is just one of these flat discs, and I'm going to go inside this pan. I'm going to start knocking off and make this smooth on the inside, which is why I didn't get too worked up over getting all the grease off, because by the time I'm done with this, it'll pretty much be clean. Alright, let's talk about what I'm doing here for just a second. So I use real light pressure. So I want to just barely put any pressure on the flapper sander thing, because I don't want it to like grind down into it. If you put a lot of pressure on one of these things, it can take welds off and stuff, but I don't really want to do that. I just want to use it in kind of more of a polishing approach. I don't know if I wouldn't recommend doing it from a safety perspective, but I take the guards off of one of the angle grinders so that it doesn't get in the way. And that way I can try to bring it down as flat as I possibly can, so that it's just kind of running the surfaces of the grinder, not like a hard edge or anything like that. So you want to try to kind of put even pressure and distribute that pressure across more of the flapper discs. So I'll keep going. And then just kind of go and spin the pan around as I go, because I can come at it from this angle here, so I'll just keep working my way around it. Real nice and light and real easy, but you're just basically looking to smooth that out a little bit so you don't feel the I guess the texture of the bumps. It doesn't have to, it won't be polished metal, so I don't think it's probably going to come through in the camera all that much, but not all of the texture is completely gone. Like, it's not like it's a piece of polished metal, it's just smooth. So just aim for smooth instead of the texture, and I think you'll be just fine. Now, also, if you're just kind of weird like me, you keep that pattern, so you'll see I'm going out in a radial motion. And the reason I do that is if it makes swirl marks, the swirl marks look like they're circular. Rather than going and making the swirl marks go this way, if that makes sense. So if you just keep the flapper disc like this, as you're going around, it'll make the swirl marks be as if they were concentric circles anyways, and I just think it looks nicer, but that's just me being weird. So I know you guys probably can't tell this, but it looks textured, but it's smooth. And so I know that's kind of weird to say. When you touch it, you can definitely tell the difference between the outside edges and the face of it. But it does feel a lot more smooth than it did earlier. This is about as smooth as I'm going to get it. The only other thing that I'm going to do is use some old sandpaper, and I'm going to go around just the edge where it's transitions from the smooth face to up on the sides. I'll probably just hit that. I do it this way again because I'm weird and I want it to look like it has swirl marks going this way. And with the flapper disc, I have a hard time, it has a hard edge to it. So I use the sandpaper because I can make a nice smooth soft edge with my finger, and I can basically smooth out that transition from the cook surface to the sidewalls. Alright, I'm liking that. You can see there's a lot of rust stuff comes out of it. I don't know if that's getting my light right, but you can kind of see all the stuff that's coming off. You can feel this now. It feels a lot more smooth. So I know it doesn't have any of the grime on it or anything like that. I'll just kind of go around with my hands, make sure I got all the kind of the old stuff off of it, the old grime and grit and stuff like that. But that's pretty good for this face of it. So I'll go with that. Now I'll probably just work a little bit on getting this backside consistent. Like I said, you want it so that when it's time to put the seasoning on, it doesn't build up, so it kind of looks consistent. So we don't want any buildups. So I'm gonna see if I can get a couple of these little areas here. And then I have you can get them, they're pretty cheap. I have a sandblaster. It's a little handheld sandblaster thing. I may fire up the compressor, throw a little bit of media in that, and just blast where the Lodge logo is. in any kind of like small areas that I can't really get to, but it's a good way to just clean the old rust and everything and really make the logo pop. But you don't got to do that. That's, again, that's just me doing it the way I do it, and being a little bit overkill probably. But so we'll try to clean this back side a little bit. Alright, that's about it. I got some cleanup to do and everything, but for right now, since I don't think I'm going to season this today, so I'll probably just wipe it all down, get all this rust and stuff off of it, and clean it all up. You can clean them, as long as you dry it real well, you can clean this, especially right now with dish soap. So I'll probably scrub it a few times with some Brillo pads and some dish soap, and that'll just get all the rest of the stuff and lift it out and everything. So that's probably the next step. I think you all know how to use a Brillo pad and soap, hopefully, so I don't think I need to go over that, but that's the goal. Just, you'll get these, a lot of times people seasoned them and didn't season them right, tried to cook on them. I've had that before where they're just it's way too thick and gooey and gunky and everything, so they didn't get the seasoning right. I'm not throwing judgment or anything, because I've done the same thing. It does take some practice to get it right. So when I do it, I just plan on, when I buy them, I just plan on taking it down like this, so I know there's no gunky stuff on there anymore anyways. So I may smooth up this a little bit. I actually might track down my orbital sander and hit some of this, and like I said, I might fire up my sandblaster and hit the logo here. But that's pretty much it for it, so I'm gonna call it a day for the video portion of it. But I hope this was helpful, gave you guys some ideas on tools to use. Just, man, I can't tell you how much. Make sure you wear safety glasses. The wire wheel throws wires out, and you don't want that in your eye. So just make sure you wear safety glasses, and then make sure you wear ear protection if you want to enjoy music up into your 90s. So, but that's about it. I hope this was helpful, and I'd like to hear in the comments how, if there's any step here that you do differently. Is there a tool that I could have used that would have been better? Anything like that. But I think that's going to do it for today. Well, I appreciate y'all watching and tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.